Scannability and longevity of location labels is an intrinsic part of how our buildings operate nowadays. And so we go back to the basic materials are synthetic, so they don't degrade over time. They're water resistant, they're waterproof, good quality adhesive on the back. And then we put very high definition print on and laminate on top. So there's absolutely no reason at all that the labels we provide wouldn't last at least as long as you're racking. In fact, if you buy the Silverback product from us, which is our top of the range product with a laminate, we'll guarantee it for the life of you using it. So no reason at all why it shouldn't last as long as you need them to. It's a very interesting story about how the Silverback brand came around, but had a meeting with our material provider and we talked about a more durable material that had come along. We were going to call it PO+, because that was the technical term for it. And about 2 weeks later, we realised that the staff in the production area were calling it Silverback because it has a silver backing to it. So we stuck with that name rather than the original PO+. In fact, we merged the two together. We call it Silverback PO+. But the Silverback name came from the team of people working with it, not from us. The difference between Silverback and other synthetic materials, Silverback is twice as thick. It's more durable, it carries a heavier adhesive, so the adhesive strength is stronger. But the main difference is the silver coating that we put on the back. It's an idea we've borrowed from paint tin labelling, where you want to see consistency of colour on the front of the paint tin for a colour sample. And it just eliminates any degradation of colour that can be seen from underneath, including existing labels. So you can cover up an existing label and you don't see any of it at all. So we say it's 100% consistent, irrespective of what colour background you're putting the label onto. We're very passionate about what we do, and we really worry about the end user, the person on the forklift truck. Is it going to work for him? Because if he's not happy scanning one of our labels or using the system on a day-to-day basis, he won't be as productive, he won't be as happy in work. So our ethos is to look after the guy on the forklift truck or look after the picker, make sure that bit works. The rest of it will work on the back of that. Being at the end of the process and the challenges that bring can be quite tricky, but luckily we have two of everything here. We have two printers, two laminators, two guillotines. If one of our machines goes down, it doesn't affect our lead times. We like 2 to 4 weeks to work with you on a project so we can make sure files are right, the information in the data is correct. But if we need to react, very often we can do work in a shorter time period than that, even down to a couple of days. But please don't expect it every time, but we can get down to that if you're under pressure. We've got a couple of salespeople, one in the north, one in the south, and we have technical people who will support those people in specifications. So rather than a salesperson, if you want to understand a bit more about what the options, we may well send a technical person to come and talk to you about what you may and may do, and we'll start building systems with you. Worry about the commercial process later, but let's just get what you need down on a piece of paper first and we'll go from there. The funniest thing that's ever happened in terms of labelling. Way back in the early days when I started, before I set the company up, I was taking some labels off in a warehouse over somewhere Wakefield way, and somebody put a paper label on with wallpaper paste. So I remember at the time thinking, this is really difficult because cleaning it off wallpaper paste, you just re-dilute it, and there was wallpaper paste over the platform me. So yeah, things have moved on. Please don't use paper, but definitely don't use wallpaper paste. It's not the way forward.